What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. We cover political news. We keep you up to date and keep you informed on everything that the government does, or at least we try to cover everything that the government does, but the government does so much underhanded stuff, we can't always cover everything. But at least we try, right? We keep you informed. But what's up, y'all? How the hell's your day going, by the way? I hope y'all having a pretty good day. Yeah, so there's been a whole lot of stuff about the border, and there's been a whole lot of stuff that has aggravated the hell out of me about the southern border. You've got Joe Biden, who has this weird open door policy for some reason. Like, we can't figure out why he is ignoring federal immigration law and just allowing migrants to pour across the border. It doesn't make any sense, considering he has said in the past that he knows that unfettered illegal immigration will destroy cities. It will destroy our economy. It will destroy our ability to have a cohesive society when you bring people into this country that do not care about this country, and they have proven that because they've broke the law to get here. Yeah, that can cause a lot of problems. He knows that, so why the hell is he doing it? This is one of the greatest mysteries, if you will, going on right now. We don't understand it whatsoever. I don't understand it. A lot of people don't understand it. So why is he doing it, right? This makes zero sense, and that's what we're talking about today. Let's get into the story right quick, y'all. How Texas plans to arrest migrants for illegal entry would work if allowed to take effect. Now, oddly enough, this doesn't really, the title from this story doesn't really answer the question at all. Yeah, it's weird, but we're going to talk about it anyway. Texas's plan to arrest migrants who cross the U.S.-Mexico border illegally is on hold while the Supreme Court considers a challenge to Republican Governor Greg Abbott's latest move over immigration. Right? It's not really over immigration. It's over the fact that people are just pouring across the border unchecked. That's it. Full stop. This is illegal. You cannot just come across our border and just go wherever the hell you want to. Right? The federal government isn't doing a damn thing to stop these people, and as a matter of fact, they're aiding and abetting illegal migration. They just tried to pass a bill that made illegal immigration legal. And then they want to gripe at Republicans for not wanting to pass this thing, right? Mike Johnson isn't taking it up in the House because he understands this bill. He understands that this is going to allow 5,000 migrants a day to come in legally. Why? Why do you want that? This is what we don't understand. The nation's highest court put the law on pause over a lawsuit led by the Justice Department, which argues that Texas is overstepping the federal government's immigration authority, which technically it is. But however, that is based upon the premise that the federal government is using its authority to curb illegal immigration, right? And actually, that is kind of a lie in a sense, because this bill in Texas has nothing to do with migration whatsoever. Regardless of what you've been told, regardless of what it sounds like, has zero to do with migration. As a matter of fact, has everything to do with illegal migration. This does not play a role to anybody that has went to a port of entry, gotten their visa, and came into the country. This leaves those people alone. Doesn't mess with them whatsoever. Does not affect them in the least. This only affects people that have come across our border illegally. Just to make that clear. Under the law, any police officer in Texas could arrest migrants for illegal entry, and a judge could order them to leave the U.S. Justice Samuel Alito has ordered a stay until Monday at 5 p.m., when the law could potentially take effect. A federal judge in Texas has blocked the law in a sweeping rejection last month, calling it a violation of the Supremacy Clause of the U.S. Constitution. Texas swiftly appealed the ruling and argued that it has a right to take action over what Abbott has described as an invasion of migrants on the border. Here's what to know. The law Abbott signed in December allows Texas law enforcement officers to arrest people suspected of entering the country illegally. Once in custody, migrants could either... Criminal aliens, you mean? Once in custody, criminal aliens could either agree to Texas judge's order to leave the U.S. or be prosecuted on misdemeanor charges of illegal entry. Migrants who do not leave could face arrest under more serious felony charges. Arresting officers must have probable cause, which could include witnessing the illegal entry themselves or seeing it on a video. The law cannot be enforced against people lawfully present in the U.S., including those who were granted asylum or who are enrolled in the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. So like I said, this does not affect migrants whatsoever at all. Does not affect them, has nothing to do with that. This is only for people that enter the country illegally and can be proven have entered the country illegally, right? Like it said, if they actually see them entering the country illegally, or if somebody shows them a video of them entering the country illegally. Why these people are opposing this, why the Justice Department is opposing this, is well beyond me, because as I've said before, this would only help the CBP agents and help the Justice Department to fend off some of this illegal migration. So why they are fighting this, I have no idea. It blows my mind. It makes zero logical sense. And I've said it before, if the federal government was doing its job on the border and trying to stop these people from coming in the country illegally and sending them to a port of entry, there wouldn't be a law like this in Texas to try to stop this. However, the federal government isn't doing its damn job and is allowing all these people to pour over. So Texas is like, we've got to do something about this. It is destroying cities in their state. Critics, including Mexico President Obrador, have said the law could lead to racial profiling and family separation. American Civil Liberties Union affiliates in Texas and some in neighboring states issue a travel advisory warning of possible threat to civil and constitutional rights when passing through Texas. This is funny because how is it going to promote racial profiling? It doesn't. This is the left trying to play on your emotions. Oh, it's racial profiling. No, it's not. It's nationality profiling is what it is. We don't want people in our country illegally. We have laws against doing such things. These people are just trying to enforce the law. And there are people that are saying, oh, this is a bad thing. No, don't enforce your laws. Well, what happens when you don't enforce your laws? You get crap like in New York, where the governor now has to send in the National Guard to protect the subway system because there's so much rampant crime. People are dying. People are scared to take the subways. That's a problem. When you don't enforce your laws, people abuse those laws and break those laws. Why would you want that? And it is funny, these people talking about constitutional rights. What constitutional right? Where in the Constitution does it say that you can come into our country illegally? It doesn't. As a matter of fact, it says you cannot do that. So how is that abusing constitutional rights whatsoever? It's not. Like I said, they're trying to play upon emotions. They just lie and say, oh, this violates your civil rights. How? Explain to me how. But people aren't doing that. They're just buying into it. Oh, because the mainstream narrative machine said it. Oh, it must be true. You have people that don't think about stuff like this, and that is very aggravating, especially to somebody who logically thinks about this and is like, hey, this is a good idea. This only serves to help the federal government, and the federal government is like, no, it's wrong, stop it. What? We're just trying to give you a hand. You're obviously overloaded. You've been screaming about a broken immigration system for years, and now we offer you a hand, and you're like, no. What? Abbott has rejected concerns over profiling. While signaling the bill, he said troopers and National Guard members at the border can see migrants crossing illegally with their own eyes. Right, like I said, this only affects people that they can be proven are in the country illegally. The law can be enforced in any of the Texas's 254 counties, including those hundreds of miles from the border. But Republican State Rep David Spiller, the author of the bill, has said he expects the vast majority of arrests will occur within 50 miles of the U.S.-Mexico border. Texas State Police Chief has expressed similar expectations. Some places are off limits. Arrests cannot be made in public and private schools, places of worship, or hospitals and other healthcare facilities, including those where sexual assault forensic examinations are conducted. That's weird. Wouldn't that be at a hospital in the first place? Sexual assault forensic examinations. So they cannot make an arrest there. Let me know down in the comments section if you find that a bit strange why they would throw that in there. You know, like it kind of implies that if they're forensically investigating a sexual assault, right, a person is at a hospital or a police station. I don't know if they do those at police stations. I think they only do those at hospitals. But if a victim of sexual assault is at a hospital, that kind of implies that the suspect would be at the hospital as well. Or it implies that the sexual assault victim would be an illegal migrant as well. It's just odd to throw that in there. I don't quite understand that one, but like I said, if I'm overlooking something, let me know down in the comments section. Under the law, migrants ordered to leave would be sent to ports of entry along the U.S.-Mexico border, even if they are not Mexican citizens. Right, because the vast majority of the people crossing the border illegally are not Mexican citizens. They're coming from all over the damn world. Marutha Jindal, executive director at Lone Star Defender's Office, said her organization expects the law will be enforced in border counties. Her office already represents migrants who have been arrested since 2021 under a more limited Texas operation that has charged thousands of migrants with trespassing on private property. Yeah, they do that a lot. That is one of the main problems with all these people pulling across the freaking border. They're trespassing on people's property. They're breaking into people's houses. They are robbing folks in their homes. I've said this on a video the other day. You can go look this up. There are story after story of people now that didn't have any interest whatsoever about having a gun in their home, or that they're not gun people, but now have gone and purchased guns and keep them in their homes to defend themselves from people trying to break in. And mostly because since Biden has opened the freaking borders wide up, people's houses have been getting broke into a lot more, and the vast majority of these people are illegal migrants that come across the border. We have cartel members, for God's sakes, that operate in and out of the country all the time across that southern border. And I've said it before, the Biden administration is assisting these people by not stopping them on the southern border. It's absolutely insane, y'all. The Justice Department, legal experts, and immigration rights groups have said the measure is a clear conflict with the U.S. government's authority to regulate immigration. How is that? How does it? It does not affect immigration whatsoever. That is a lie coming from the Justice Department. They are trying to virtue signal with this. This only affects people that cross the border illegally, which has nothing to do with migration. U.S. District Judge David Ezra, an appointee of former President Ronald Reagan, agreed in a 114-page order. He added that the law could hamper U.S. foreign relations and treaty obligations. That is complete BS. How the hell could this law in Texas, that is confined to Texas, obviously, how would that hamper foreign relations in the least? As a matter of fact, at all. How could that hamper foreign relations? How could that hamper treaty obligations? Please explain this to me. Am I too stupid to understand that something in Texas cannot obviously affect foreign relations or treaty obligations. We don't have a treaty with Mexico or any other country to allow foreign nationals to enter our country illegally. I don't know of such legislation or treaty. Like I said, if I'm overlooking something, let me know down in the comments. However, I have looked very deeply into this subject. I know quite a bit about this subject, and I don't know of anything about that. Opponents have called the measure the most dramatic attempt by a state to police immigration since a 2010 Arizona law, denounced by critics as the Show Me Your Papers bill. That was largely struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court, as recited the Supreme Court's 2012 Arizona ruling in his decision. Yeah, that law was a lot different, though. That law was a whole lot different. As a matter of fact, that law sparked the sovereign citizen movement. Or it may have not sparked it, but it rapidly expanded the sovereign citizen movement because police were setting up blockades all along highways, all along the border, forcing people to stop and show them a driver's license. And a lot of libertarians had a major problem with this. It violated United States citizens' civil liberties to travel freely under the Constitution. However, this law goes around that completely. Like it said, it only affects people that they see crossing the border, or they see a video of somebody crossing the border. And they would have to be able to see this person's face or some identifiable marker to prove that this person crossed the border illegally. That's why they said that most of these arrests are going to be made along the 50 counties or whatever that make up the border counties. Because it'll be hard for somebody in Amarillo to see somebody crossing the border. It would also be very hard for somebody in Amarillo to have a video of somebody crossing the border, show it to a cop in the panhandle of Texas, and just so happens that same person is up in Amarillo, right? These people make no sense. They are just advocating for the destruction of the United States, because that's all this is doing. I mean, we see what it's doing to New York. We see what it's doing to Chicago. And why these people are advocating for this is well beyond my comprehension. I cannot understand why. I'm guessing compassion. That's the only argument I've heard from the left as to why an open border policy is a good thing. Because, nobody is illegal, right? I mean, for God's sakes, the President of the United States of America apologized to a murderer for calling him an illegal. That's where we are, folks. That shit blows my freaking mind, y'all. It blows my freaking mind. And I've gone on for long enough on this one. I want you guys to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. I mean, give me some sort of argument for as to why we should allow just unfettered people to come across the border. Just let them come. Who cares who they are? Who cares what they do, right? Just give me some sort of reasoning, if you have one. But that's all I got for this one, you guys. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I sure do appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that like button on your way out the door, by the way, if you don't mind. I would appreciate it. And y'all try to have a good day and be positive. Peace.